What's up, good people? It's Jaleesa, owner and creator of Exhibit 34. Today's exhibit, building my craft room. So as you can see, it was just literally just everything, just the Behr. I have since moved my love seat out. I'm really trying to get rid of it, so if you want a love seat, let me know. Of course, the shelving and everything I can't get rid of, so that is all the same. However, I do have a fantastic table and a fantastic sewing table that I did build myself. You don't need no man, but I want one. Anyway, once I decided to build my craft table, I started looking for inspiration picks. So I found this one and I really liked it. I didn't want wheels, but I did like the cube organizer leg aspect of it because that means I had more storage under the table besides just on the floor, which I thought was great. So my plan was to find and buy 2 of the 6 cube organizers to use vertically as the legs. Now, did that happen? No, because I could not find these cube organizers anywhere that were the correct size. So my semi-DIY project turned into full scale, Jaleesa's getting into woodworking kind of thing. I did some research, I YouTubed a lot of things, and I decided to become a woodworker, and I said, I am going to build me a craft table. One of the first lessons I learned with this project is that wood lies. A 2x4 is not 2x4.
What?
The measurements that you hear are not what they actually are. So when I was going through doing all my measurements, hindsight, now always 2020, my measurements were wrong, so I had to redo them because a 2x4 is not 2 inches by 4 inches. It's actually 1.5 by 3.5 inches. So my measurements were all wrong. My friends would tell you that I'm pretty OCD when it comes to planning things, and this project was no different. This was both the first time and the second time that I went through and did the measurements. This has everything from drawings of what I felt like my table should look like, measurements of each individual piece. I even gave letters to every single part of the table just to make myself a little bit more organized, how many of each part there were, cost of the materials, a supply list, literally everything I could possibly need to stay organized. Then I realized I would have extra materials from everything I would have to buy anyway for my craft table. And because I don't like to waste things, I decided to make a sewing table too. So my novice woodworking life got hyped up even further. But once my measurements were done, it was finally time to go shopping. That I learned from this whole process, sandpaper. There are different grades of sandpaper, and you actually have to start with the lowest grade, working your way up to the highest. So I started with 80 grit and worked my way up to 220. This was the wood when I first started. This was about midway through, and then you can see at the end a nice smooth finish. Once I finished sanding, I started working on the top of my table. I used plywood, but the edges were not very pretty, so I covered them with a thin trim of wood, filled the crack with wood filler, and then I had my table toppers. I got the frames of the legs completed. The cube part of this proved to be a little bit more complicated than I thought, so I just made it work and put a thin trim on each side so it appears to be a cube, but it's actually not. The only thing left to do was to paint and stain my tables. I chose to use Behr indoor paint in the color Underground Gardens, and then I used Varathane Poly and Stain in 1 in the color Kona. I painted, I stained, and then I had a craft room. What's up? It's Shalisa, owner and dog owner. I like it. Rhoda. The second one. That's 4. Maybe like this. I don't know. Not what the numbers say. Like that.